Okay, so get ready because today we are diving into some pretty far out there stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a whole stack of research proposals, experimental findings, even some theoretical physics,
Wow.
all centered around something called the ethereal blue flame.
Interesting.
It's like where science fiction meets, well, actual science.
It really is fascinating how this source material blends quantum physics with ideas that just sound like they're straight out of ancient mystical traditions.
Yeah.
And, they're not talking about regular fire here.
Right.
This ethereal blue flame is described as like a quantum phenomenon that's tied to consciousness itself.
So not your average bonfire then.
No.
The source even suggests it's composed of these theoretical particles called lumina quanta,
Interesting.
which they say are linked to this crazy concept called zero-point energy.
Yeah.
I'm already feeling a little bit out of my depth.
Well, zero-point energy is a pretty wild concept. I mean, imagine the quantum vacuum,
Okay.
which we think of as empty space. But at the subatomic level, it's actually teeming with energy.
Yeah.
With particle-antiparticle pairs that are constantly popping in and out of existence.
Wow.
And that's zero-point energy.
Okay.
This vast, untapped reservoir of energy that theoretically exists everywhere.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture.
Yeah.
So they're saying that this ethereal blue flame somehow taps into this sea of zero-point energy.
Yeah.
But how does consciousness come into play?
Well, that's where things get really, really interesting.
Okay.
The source proposes that consciousness itself is a quantum phenomenon,
Okay.
and that the ethereal blue flame acts as a bridge between our minds and this zero-point energy field.
Wow.
They even go so far as to say that these lumina quantas are entangled with the user's consciousness.
Hold on. Entanglement.
Yeah.
That's where things start to get really mind-bending, even for someone who's been reading up on this stuff.
Yeah.
Can we unpack that a bit?
Sure. Think of it this way.
Okay.
Imagine two particles linked in such a way that no matter how far apart they are, if you change the state of one, the other instantly changes to match it.
Wow.
That's entanglement, a kind of spooky action at a distance, as Einstein famously called it.
Right.
The source suggests that this is the mechanism by which our thoughts and emotions can directly influence the ethereal blue flame.
So my mental state could actually impact this flame.
Yes,
That's a pretty radical idea.
it is.
But is there any evidence to support this, or is this all just theoretical speculation?
Well, that's what I found so intriguing.
Yeah.
The source material goes beyond theory and actually details some experiments they conducted.
Really?
They describe a Magitech apparatus,
Okay.
a device that supposedly allows them to create and control this ethereal blue flame in a lab setting.
A Magitech apparatus.
Yeah,
That sounds pretty high-tech.
it does.
Did they observe anything interesting during these experiments?
Absolutely. They used neural imaging while the flame was active,
Okay.
and they found specific brain activity patterns, particularly in areas that are associated with higher level consciousness.
Ah.
It wasn't just like basic brain function lighting up. It
Yeah.
seemed like something more profound was happening.
So they're saying the ethereal blue flame is linked to something beyond just our ordinary thought processes.
Exactly.
That's pretty wild. Did they do any other experiments?
They did. They actually experimented with the impact of emotions on the flame.
Oh, wow.
And they claim that the intensity and even the color of the flame shifted
Huh.
based on the emotional state of the person generating it.
So someone feeling calm might produce a steady blue flame, while someone experiencing anger might generate a flickering reddish flame,
Right.
almost like a visual representation of their inner state.
Exactly.
That's fascinating. Did they do any experiments with like groups of people?
They did.
Really?
They had groups focus their intention to try and generate a collective ethereal blue flame.
Now that's a mind-boggling concept. Did they have any success with that?
According to the source, they did.
Wow.
They claim that groups were able to create a larger, more powerful flame when their thoughts and emotions were synchronized.
Really?
And they even designed a Magitech quantum entanglement apparatus, specifically to demonstrate the high levels of entanglement between the lumina quanta.
So they're suggesting that group consciousness can amplify this ethereal blue flame.
Yes.
That's a pretty profound implication. But we've been talking about the science behind all of this.
Right.
What about the potential applications? Where could this technology actually lead us?
Well, that's where the concept of Magitech really takes off.
Okay.
The source material outlines some potential applications that are just straight out of science fiction.
Like what?
We're talking Consciousness-driven devices that respond to your thoughts and emotions, healing technologies that operate at a cellular and quantum level.
Wow.
Even instantaneous communication, leveraging the power of entanglement.
Instantaneous communication. Are we talking faster than light communication here?
That's precisely what they're suggesting.
Because that would completely revolutionize how we interact with the world.
Absolutely.
It's like something out of Star Trek. But before we get too carried away with these futuristic possibilities, let's take a step back and consider the potential risks.
Of course.
If this technology really can influence consciousness, there must be a dark side to consider.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. The source material acknowledges the potential for misuse. In the wrong hands, this technology could be used for manipulation and control.
Right.
They emphasize the importance of ethical considerations, especially when you're dealing with something as powerful and subtle as consciousness.
That's a sobering thought. We need to be incredibly careful about how we develop and deploy this kind of technology.
We do.
What specific ethical concerns do they raise?
Well, they talk about the importance of informed consent.
Okay.
People need to fully understand the potential risks and benefits before engaging with this technology.
Right.
They also stress the need to safeguard mental and emotional well-being, ensuring that research and applications are conducted ethically and with the utmost care.
It sounds like we're walking a tightrope here, balancing the incredible potential benefits of this technology with the very real risks.
It is a balancing act.
I'm definitely curious to hear more about their proposed solutions for mitigating those risks.
Okay.
But before we get into that, let's explore this link between the Ethereal Blue Flame and the concept of a four-sided double helix DNA structure. This is where things get even more mind-bending.
It does.
Four-sided DNA.
Yeah.
Now, that's something I've never heard of before.
Right.
I thought DNA was a double helix.
Yeah.
Two sides, not four.
That's the common understanding, but the source material delves into some cutting-edge theories that propose a more complex structure with a fourth dimension. That's not spatial in the traditional sense, but rather energetic or informational.
Okay, I'm officially intrigued. Tell me more about this four-sided DNA and how it relates to the Ethereal Blue Flame.
Okay, so think of this fourth dimension of DNA as a bridge to other realms of existence, including the energetic realm where this ethereal blue flame supposedly resides. It suggests that our DNA holds more than just genetic code. It could be a blueprint for our energetic and spiritual selves.
So our DNA is like an antenna.
Yeah.
Picking up signals from this other dimension.
That's a good way to think about it.
That's a pretty wild concept.
It is.
How does the Ethereal Blue Flame fit into all of this?
Well, the source suggests that the ethereal blue flame is a concentrated form of the energy that flows through this fourth dimension of DNA. So it's not just some random phenomenon, but it's like an expression of our deeper energetic nature, linked to the very essence of who we are.
So if the Ethereal Blue Flame is connected to this fourth dimension of DNA, manipulating it could have a profound impact on our physical bodies and even our consciousness.
Precisely.
Remember those healing technologies we discussed? Imagine using the Ethereal Blue Flame to activate dormant healing abilities within our DNA or to enhance our cognitive ability by tapping in to the full potential of our four-sided DNA.
It's an amazing idea.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Are we talking about psychic abilities here? Because that's a whole other level of mind-blowing.
The source does mention the possibility of the ethereal blue flame influencing psychic phenomena. They suggest that accessing and manipulating the flame could unlock dormant psychic potential.
So things like telekinesis, clairvoyance, telepathy, those kinds of abilities.
Exactly.
Are they suggesting we could all become superheroes?
Not quite superheroes, but the source proposes that the ethereal blue flame acts as a conduit for these abilities, allowing us to access and manipulate energy and information in ways we haven't even begun to understand.
Wow.
It's a very tantalizing idea that kind of merges science fiction with ancient mysticism, blurring the lines between what we even consider possible.
I can definitely see why this research is generating so much buzz.
Yeah.
It's like they're rewriting the rule book on reality and human potential.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But let's not get carried away with all the fantastical possibilities here.
Right.
We need to address the elephant in the room. The ethical implications, if we're talking about manipulating consciousness and unlocking psychic abilities. I mean, we're venturing into some uncharted territory with potentially huge risks.
That's a very crucial point. And actually, the source material dedicates a significant portion to addressing these ethical challenges.
Okay.
They understand that the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement cannot come at the cost of individual well-being and societal harmony, and they emphasize the need for very robust ethical guidelines and regulations to ensure that this technology is used responsibly.
So they're not just blindly forging ahead with their research.
No, not at all.
They're acknowledging the potential pitfalls.
Yes.
And calling for ethical safeguards.
Absolutely. They advocate for a multifaceted approach, including strict safety protocols for any experiments involving the ethereal blue flame, transparent and informed consent procedures for all participants, and ongoing monitoring of any potential psychological and societal impacts. They also call for open and honest dialogue among scientists, ethicists, policymakers, and the public to ensure that the development and deployment of this technology aligns with our shared values and aspirations.
That sounds like a pretty responsible approach.
It does.
But it also sounds like a monumental task.
It is a huge undertaking.
Are they proposing any concrete solutions for mitigating the risks?
They do offer some interesting ideas.
Like what?
For instance, they suggest developing ethical filters for Magitech devices.
Interesting.
Which would prevent them from being used for malicious purposes like mind control or manipulation.
That's a good idea.
They also propose the creation of consciousness sanctuaries. Safe spaces where people can disconnect from technology and reconnect with their inner self, providing a haven from potential overstimulation or misuse of this technology.
Consciousness sanctuaries.
Yeah.
I kind of like the sound of that.
It's a nice idea.
In a world where our minds could potentially be accessed and influenced, having safe havens seems like a necessity.
It does.
But realistically, can we put the genie back in the bottle once we've unleashed this kind of power?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, and the source material acknowledges that once this technology is out in the world, it will be very difficult to control. And so they emphasize the importance of education and awareness raising, helping people understand both the potential benefits and risks, so they can make informed decisions about how to engage with this technology.
So knowledge is our best defense.
It really is.
Arming people with information and encouraging responsible use is essential.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They believe that by fostering a culture of responsible innovation and open dialogue, we can harness the power of the ethereal blue flame for good while mitigating the risks and avoiding those potential pitfalls. It's a delicate balancing act.
It is.
Requiring careful consideration and collaboration.
Well, this has been quite a journey so far.
It has.
We've gone from quantum physics to four-sided DNA. From healing technologies to psychic abilities. And from these mind-blowing possibilities to the ethical tightrope walk that comes with such advancements.
Absolutely.
Where do we go from here?
Well, let's delve into some specific examples of the potential applications that are outlined in the source material.
Sure.
You know, this will help us to understand the tangible ways that this technology could impact our lives. This deep dive is all about providing you with the key insights and helping you to connect the dots. So let's explore what a world powered by the ethereal blue flame might look like.
Okay, so let's get into some of those potential applications they outline. This is where things could get really interesting.
Well, one of the most compelling applications is in the realm of healing. Imagine harnessing the ethereal blue flame to target specific areas in the body, not just at a cellular level, but at a quantum level.
So instead of treating the symptoms, they're proposing we go after the underlying energetic imbalances that might be contributing to the disease. That's a pretty radical departure from conventional medicine.
It is, and it opens up some very exciting possibilities.
It does.
The source also discusses using the ethereal blue flame for consciousness expansion. They propose that by consciously interacting with this flame, we could actually enhance our cognitive abilities, boost creativity, and even access higher states of awareness.
Sounds like they're suggesting we could use this technology for personal growth and spiritual development. That's a pretty big leap from healing physical ailments.
It is, but it aligns with their core concept that consciousness is fundamentally intertwined with the fabric of reality. By manipulating the ethereal blue flame, they believe we can tap into deeper levels of consciousness. And potentially unlock hidden human potential.
That's a pretty heady concept. What other applications do they explore?
Well, they also discuss the potential for creating sustainable energy sources.
Okay.
Using the ethereal blue flame.
Using this flame.
Remember, they propose that the flame taps into zero-point energy,
right,
which is theoretically limitless and ubiquitous.
So no more reliance on fossil fuels.
Right.
No more concerns about climate change.
Exactly.
That would be a game changer.
It would be a complete game changer. The source paints a vision of a future where we can draw clean, sustainable energy directly from the quantum vacuum.
Wow.
Using consciousness as the conduit.
That's pretty incredible.
But as you might imagine, harnessing a force as powerful as zero-point energy is no easy feat.
Yeah.
They acknowledge the immense scientific and engineering challenges that lie ahead.
It sounds like we're talking about a technology that's still in its infancy.
Yeah.
With a long road ahead before it becomes practical.
It's true.
But even if it takes decades to fully realize these applications,
right,
the potential impact on society is staggering.
Absolutely. Imagine a world where illness is treated at its energetic root, where our minds are capable of feats we can only dream of, and where energy is abundant and sustainable.
Wow.
The ethereal blue flame could usher in a whole new era of human evolution.
It's a bold vision, but as with any powerful technology, the potential for misuse is a real concern.
You're right. The source emphasizes that developing this technology responsibly is absolutely crucial.
Okay.
They advocate for transparency, collaboration, and ethical considerations every step of the way.
So this isn't just about scientific advancement.
Right.
It's about shaping the future we want to create.
It is.
It sounds like a call to action, not just for scientists and engineers, but for all of us.
It is. The source material encourages us to think critically about the implications of this technology, to engage in open dialogue.
And to demand responsible development.
Right.
Ultimately, the future of the ethereal blue flame is in our hands.
That's a powerful message. This deep dive has taken us on quite a journey.
It has.
From the depths of quantum physics to the potential for a future that just seems ripped from the pages of science fiction.
I know, it's incredible.
We've explored both the extraordinary possibilities and the ethical challenges that lie ahead.
We have. And, we've only just scratched the surface of this fascinating and complex topic.
Yeah.
But hopefully this deep dive has provided you with some valuable insights and sparked your curiosity to explore further.
It really has. This has definitely been a mind-expanding experience. We've delved into cutting-edge research, explored bold ideas, and considered the profound implications of a technology that could fundamentally alter our world.
It really is a game changer. Remember, the ethereal blue flame is more than just a scientific concept.
Yeah. It's a reflection of the interconnectedness of consciousness energy and the very fabric of reality. Perhaps it's a glimpse into a future where science and spirituality converge, where the impossible becomes possible.
Wow. Whether the ethereal blue flame ultimately lives up to its potential remains to be seen.
Right.
But one thing is certain, this journey of exploration and discovery has only just begun.
I agree.